What's up, everyone? Coach Tim here today with Pro Select Soccer on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. We are having a bye week this week with my team, so I thought I'm going to take the time and meet with my good friend, Coach Dani Lainez, here and talk to you guys a little bit about high school soccer.
How are you guys?
Dani, real quick for the people that don't know you, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Daniel. I'm from Spain. I came here to the US to play soccer in college. I couldn't play finally because I got hurt in the first week. But I follow a path, education path. I did an assistant job in Lindenwood University as an assistant Spanish teacher. And then I came to San Diego when I graduated, and I started working at high school as a physical education teacher and a soccer coach, and also coach track and field and cross country in the other seasons.
All right. So your whole life is soccer, pretty much.
Yes,
sports.
I've been playing soccer as long as I can remember.
Represent Spain today. You see it, guys.
Yeah.
So
Torres.
you said high school soccer is your area. The tryouts are coming up. The season is about to start. Tell us a little bit. What is the process there?
Well, so as you know, soccer starts in November, around the middle of November. So the tryouts will be around the 15th, and it lasts for like a week, right? So we normally have 3-4 days where we do different activities, different skills tests. We do some physical tests the first day normally to see how they are. And then we do some specific tests, and then we play some games. Depending on how many players are trying out, it might take like 2-3 days or even 4. For example, last year I only had to cut like 3 girls. There were like 25 or 23, 24 trying, and we finally got a team of 20.
Okay, so what are the key aspects that you're looking for during those tryouts?
Well, I want to see the first one is the commitment. You can see in high school many students who are good, but they think they're too good, right?
Okay.
So you sometimes know that this player, the way he or she comes to the game or comes to the practice, you know that he or she is not going to commit. So you want people who are really into the team, who is going to come to practice every day, who's going to be willing to do what the coach demands. Because sometimes they think, oh no, we don't need that, or I don't need to come to this practice because I don't need physical conditioning, right? So I want, most important thing is the commitment. I will say that.
Okay, yeah, most definitely. Some people think they're above the team, too good for it, and it's usually the most talented players too, right?
Normally, yes, but you can see that even they are talented, they don't have that effort, that the ability to sacrifice themselves, and that's super important if they want to go into college or even professionally.
Yeah, it's usually it went too easy for them most of the time. Like they were just always good and kind of got
and that obviously that happens when they are normally 14, 15 years old, right? They are in middle school. Some of them they are already big guys or big girls who have really good, who are strong, who are fast, and they don't really need too much. But there is a point when the others start to catch up,
right? And
then these players who were really good feel like, wow, what's going on here? And they don't have that, sacrifice. They don't sacrifice themselves, so they don't make it. And they all of a sudden they give up. They stop playing soccer, and you can see that. I have seen that many times.
Yeah, it's all about preparation. So, what is a good way? I mean, now it's almost the tryouts are coming up within the next week or two.
Well, no, we only have 4 or 5 more weeks.
Oh, 4 or 5 more weeks. So it is still enough time to prepare for it.
Yes. I mean, I'm telling them, some of the athletes are already asking me, what are we doing in the tryouts? And I'm like, you now should be preparing yourself physically. Okay. Because high school is all about physical conditioning. You need to know how to play soccer, but you can see some players who are not that good, but they run, they put everything they have, and they are running right now, or they are playing. I'm telling them, you need to be in a soccer team, in a soccer club before we start. Because if you play soccer, but you don't play for 9 months, and then you only play for the 3 months of the high school season, then it's not enough, right?
100%. Yeah, a lot of kids that come to us, they are preparing right now for the tryouts. They get additional practice. They have the club practice. Then they have their rec league soccer maybe on top of it, and then they come to Pro Select, for example, and get the extra practice. We have a lot of goalkeepers, for example, because I think that's an area that is often forgotten. How does it work in high school? Do you have extra goalkeeper practice as well?
Well, what I'm trying to do is I normally have the captains run some part of the practice while I work with the goalie. Because in my case, last year we didn't have a real goalie. She was a volleyball player.
Okay.
Our school is small, but she was really good. She became really good. She was smart, so she was able to apply, the volleyball skills, like using their hands.
That's true.
She wasn't that good with her feet, but she learned a lot, and she was willing to. So she was one of the players who were like, yes, we need to go to practice, we need to do this, we need to be on time. But some of the good big high schools, they have, of course, a goalie coach, right? We don't have that.
Makes sense. Yeah, so playing multiple sports, I think you coach multiple sports as well.
Yes.
So probably there's some kids that do track and field maybe and soccer, which is close together.
Yes, well, some of them, they do cross country now, which is really good. It's really good because they're going to give them mental toughness, which is super important also in a soccer game, especially at the end. And they're going to give them great endurance. It's true that it's not the same endurance because when you play soccer, you need to apply that. You don't run for miles without stop, right?
The same pace, right?
Yes, you need to run sprints. You run with the ball. Sometimes you run 3-4 times in a row fast. Then you rest. It's different, but if you are smart, you can apply that, especially mentally, to say, I was able to run a 5K in under 20 minutes. I'm gonna be able to run the soccer game, the whole game, right?
That is true, definitely. I mean, in preseason in college, we did the 2-mile run every time, and it's just so many players that lack the basic endurance. Like the 2 miles, we had to run in less than 12 minutes, and it was a challenge for a lot of players because it's just, I mean, that shows the commitment as well. If you're willing to do the boring stuff, kind of. But playing multiple sports. I mean, Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, they all play different sports in high school. Now we see Tim Tebow, the NFL player. He's in the MLB now.
Oh, wow.
And all of a sudden, so I mean, it can't hurt to play multiple sports.
No, and it's good to try. It's good. Also, if you play the same thing all the time, you might get bored, right? So you need to try different things, do different challenges where you might not be the best. You might be one of the last ones in the cross country race, but it's good to see that you are not always the best, right?
That is true. That's true. That's what maybe the talented players need.
Yes.
They need to get punched in the face a little bit and really eat the dirt and then see what it means to be working hard for it. So, being from Spain, you've been here in the U.S. long enough. You don't say football; it's soccer for us, obviously. So, what do you think is the key difference between European soccer and the American version?
In general, I would say, because California is the exception, is more physical in the U.S. That's the main difference.
Yeah, you said California, especially San Diego, so close to the border, is a difference here. Like it's different than all the rest of the U.S. pretty much. With a lot of players down the Cholos in Tijuana, the main part of the team is almost made up out of San Diegans.
Yes.
So they're all coming from there. What do you think makes it so special? Is it all the melting pot pretty much of the cultures?
Yes, that's totally right. Because you can see here in the same event, in 10 kilometers, right, you can see one school made from Mexican students, one the other is from American, totally. You can also say in the same school, half of the team is Mexican, half of the team is American. You can see how they talk in Spanish, in English. It's really interesting, and you can see sometimes different styles within the team. But normally, each team has a unique style depending on the area of San Diego. I would say south, more Mexican. They try to pass the ball more. They communicate a lot. If you go to the north, it's just go straight for the goal. More physical. They push a lot. They don't expect the referee to call that kind of faults that you obviously say yes. That's even a yellow card.
Right. Okay. You're also a PE teacher.
Yes.
Right? So with motivating teens, especially in that age, a lot of kids, they maybe don't want to be there right now. How do you get them to get motivated and still do what you ask them to?
Well, I don't think that there is a perfect answer or perfect way. Sometimes even the best motivator of the world will not be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I had a student who was probably one of the best soccer players I've ever seen when he was a sophomore 2 years ago, and he just was unmotivated to play. He only liked to watch Real Madrid on TV.
Okay.
When I saw him playing, I was like, wow, this guy can be. He was the best defender. He was the best one in the middle. He could score goals.
Mm-hmm.
He could do everything. But he also didn't make the grades. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to tell him, think about yourself playing in Europe. It doesn't have to be in Real Madrid. You might be able because you are super good, but think about yourself going to play in France, and you might be able to play in the Santiago Bernabeu. Think about yourself going to college, maybe. Mm-hmm. Maybe you don't reach professionalism, but going to college, playing there, and he just was unmotivated. And this year he's not at the school because he couldn't make the grades last year. Mm-hmm. He had like 5-6 incompletes. So in this case, it's really hard. I had a really bad time. I would say that the best way is to motivate them thinking about the future. Like, you want to go to college? Well, of course. Why? Because my friends go and it's cool and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Would you like to play? Oh, yes. Why? Because the soccer, students who play at the sports are cool. They are popular. So what are you doing now to reach that? Well, I should try. Okay, so you need to be on that path because there are going to be people now, students playing harder, working harder in other cities, in other places, trying to reach that goal. Mm-hmm. So I would say that would be the main reason. They need to start right now. Mm-hmm. There is no moment to wait, no way to wait until senior, right? Mm-hmm. They need to start right now. That's the best advice I have. But sometimes there are going to be students that they are not easy to motivate. Mm-hmm. They just don't have that intrinsic motivation. Yeah? Everyone has to have that intrinsic. Mm-hmm. But you might be able to motivate them in the future. Maybe it wasn't their time right now, right? Maybe this student, I see him next year and he tells me, yeah, I'm playing in college. I will be super happy to see that.
So us as a coach, I feel like we have a big responsibility towards those kids because sometimes there's things that, you remember when we were 13, 14, you want to do everything but listen to your parents.
Yes.
So how do you deal with that responsibility of being the one that maybe can get to the people, can get to the student?
It's tough also that sometimes you connect more with some students. Sometimes there is no way. I had also a student who I couldn't connect with. Mm-hmm. He liked soccer. He looked even like me physically. Like some people were, yeah, he looks like you. But I couldn't connect it. And he played many minutes, but sometimes he didn't play as much. And I remember one day we won 4-1, but he was on the bench most of the game. It wasn't his time, and the other players were playing better, were working harder, were going to practice. He didn't go. So he was really upset, So it's a huge responsibility because sometimes unintentionally you might hurt someone, and you don't want to. Mm-hmm. But this player might think, oh, the coach doesn't like me, and that might cause some losing motivation. Mm-hmm. They don't want to play. So it's a huge responsibility because not only to motivate some students, but to see, that you don't do something unintentionally, obviously, but to others. Because in a team, if there are 20, there are 11 who play and 9 are not playing. Mm-hmm. At the end, it's the reality. Right. So not everybody is going to be happy. You cannot see a team where even when they win the world championship, you can, obviously, not everybody, you can see them happy, but at the end, some of them are upset, obviously, because they didn't have what they wanted. Mm-hmm. So this case is the same with high school students. Huge responsibility also for the grades because sometimes you are pushing them to play, but they're not making the grades. Mm-hmm. So as a coach, you want to have the best team, but what if this student didn't pass that test? Mm-hmm. Should you put that student in the team or not?
True. How do you make them balance their schedule? Because once they get to college, then it's going to be a whole nother workload all of a sudden. So I think high school is a good time to kind of get used to having that
Yes.
professional training over 3 months, almost every day with games, and then you have your school load.
They need to realize that the academics is a priority
Mhm.
before sports and goes academics. So they need to be on their homework, be on time on classes. They need to, if they need to, they have to go to office hours, and they need to do everything before the games, right? Like if they have a game on Tuesday, obviously the games are after school. But if they have a test on Wednesday, they need to study for that test before, in the weekend, on
Mhm.
Monday, not after the game when they are tired.
Right.
They should make priorities because it's really hard to do both at the same time.
Yeah, you're still a student athlete,
Yes.
so it's student first. I mean, motivation has always been a big thing for you. Tell us a little bit about MOLA.
Yeah, MOLA is it's an idea. Okay, it's an idea that was we and my friend Alex Moraes created in Lindenwood. We started as a group of friends. We were sometimes meeting, trying to help each other, okay, to motivate each other. You know, in Missouri, when you are an international student, have many times when you feel isolated
I
and
remember.
you feel bad.
I remember.
So that started like that, and then we were like, well, why don't we motivate other students? And we did a speech, a motivational speech, in front of 110, 120 students, and also some teachers and some members of the community, some adult people. So that was how we started. Now we are trying to create this this project, which is consulting company for international students who want to come to the US.
Okay.
And that's still a project. So we're still thinking, you know, how to mix our motivational skills with that business idea of helping international students coming to the US, try to find them some help at the university, like getting a scholarship to play sports, getting a scholarship because of their grades. So that's where we're going towards right now.
Okay. Yeah, I've just seen your speech there. Actually, it's on YouTube, guys. You should definitely look it up.
Thank you.
You talked about health.
Yes.
That is something that is often forgotten, especially with athletes. So, tell us a little bit about it. Health. How important is that for sports in general?
Yes, health is important. You need to keep a balance in your body, in your mind. So it's not only about going to practice every day and be the fastest and you need to be able to rest. You need to rest. You need to relax sometimes. You need to feed yourself well with good food. That doesn't mean that you cannot eat a hamburger or a cookie. I eat them many times, but you need to know how, when, right? How to keep the balance. So health is really important also because we are now in an age where we live many years, right? So you want to be able to live as many as you can,
as long as possible,
and as healthy as you can. You don't want to be 30 years old like, oh, I don't feel good, I feel tired all the time after work, I don't have the energy, drinking coffee all the time, eating bad because you don't feel like cooking, like cleaning, and those are things that are not good for your daily life. Are, holding you back.
That is true. There's a lot of things that impact it. I compared, it's like driving a Ferrari, but then putting the worst gas in it.
Yes.
Like you still want to take care of your body. It's the only one you ever get.
It's the only one. Yeah.
Right. So maybe for our people watching right now, a typical soccer diet, what would you suggest? What are kind of foods that you should eat, foods that you should stay away from?
Well, I think it's pretty simple. I would say before the game, 3-4 hours is the big meal, right? So you obviously need carbs. Soccer is a mix of aerobic and anaerobic sport, but carbs is the main is the main energy that you get from. So I would say pasta, rice, combined with some protein like chicken, fish, and then some vegetable. It's always good, some veggies. Obviously, don't drink sodas. Water has to be the main one. Before the game, you can eat a snack, but not something big because it's gonna make you feel really heavy. So something like a banana, something like a bar, an energy bar. Don't eat a protein bar because they're really heavy for the stomach. That might hurt you. During the game, I really like the obviously water and energy drinks like I don't know. There are many out there. So with some kind of vitamins and minerals, some kind of sugar, which in that scenario is good during the game because it's gonna give you that energy when sometimes you are missing, you know. But yeah, that will be. It's very simple. Don't eat too much in once because it's gonna make you feel really heavy. Don't eat to be right before the game. Only a snack if you feel like you are a little bit weak and you need something. But I would say that.
I think that's an important thing as an athlete. You got to learn to listen to your body.
Yes.
Like when you're hungry, that's definitely a sign. If you feel weak, you should see maybe did I drink enough? Did I eat enough today? Those are the two key questions, and then definitely sleep.
Sleep, obviously, yes.
Right. So I mean, you are the man for food. I've seen you competing in that bodybuilding competition, and I've never seen anyone eating that crazy and that strict, sticking to a diet. How did you motivate yourself during that time?
That's really hard. That's one. I think is the main challenge I ever done in my life. You need to know that that's the only way to get your goal. I would say that if you go out of that, you don't get your goal. So if you really want that goal, you do whatever it takes, right? So if you don't do that, is that you don't really want it. Okay. So I would say that is my motivation, and I would say that to all the soccer players. Do you want to be really a soccer player? Because sometimes people say, I would like to play in college, I would like to play in Europe, but it's the difference between I would like and I want to. If you want to, you really do it. So if you want to do something, if you want to do a bodybuilding competition, you eat whatever it takes. You don't eat more, you don't eat less. You did that. Once you finish with that goal, which is not, that's a good thing, you don't do that forever, then you go out of that diet a little bit and then you enjoy more other things. But once you put a goal, you go for it. If you don't know when to do it, that's not the goal.
Okay. How do you set those goals for yourself? Is it that you say, okay, I want to compete at the bodybuilding competition, or you go in there and say, I want to win, and then if you maybe don't reach it all the way, at least you did a lot better than...
Yes. This is interesting because it was my first... it was men's physique, right? Bodybuilding is like for the really big guys. Men's physique is more like fit guys. I expected to win the novice class, which is for people who does the first time. I was really disappointed because I was 6 out of 10. So I didn't even win a trophy. It was for the first top 5. But the good thing is that I put that goal, and I also, my goal was to be as best as I could. I wanted to be the first one, and I didn't make it. But I did as best as I could, right? So I think right now I have the opportunity to improve because I didn't reach that goal, and that's also good. I was really disappointed the first time, the first days, the first week after the competition. Right now I want to do it again, and I want to be first. So, and I know I want to be better than the last time. I want to be as best as I can. So you need to put a goal, even if you don't make that goal. Sometimes you're going to get, obviously not many times, most of the times, always you're going to get better than you were. So if you tell yourself, I'm going to play in this thing, I'm going to play in this thing, I'm going to play in this thing, I'm going to play in first division, then you go to the second division. Maybe you don't reach more, but you play in second division. How many people play in second division?
Right.
Not many, right?
Right.
So obviously it's not easy. It's not just to say, I'm going to play in Real Madrid and you do it.
That is true.
There are other situations that you cannot control, right? Injuries, many things, sponsorships. But I think if you put the specific goals, you are closer to get that goals than if you don't do it. If you just say general goals like I want to play soccer.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. You are probably one of the most disciplined people I've ever met.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have any morning rituals?
I don't really. I have more daily rituals that I follow. But well, I would say that when I wake up, I take a shower and then I prepare my meal. I normally weigh my meal or put them on the containers and prepare them everything perfect for the day.
Mm-hmm.
That will be my ritual. That's what I like to do, because if I don't do that, then I know that the day is not going that good, because I'm not prepared.
Right.
So that will be my morning.
Okay, it's all about preparation.
Yes.
I mean, you can't just go through the day and expect it's gonna go well if you don't do anything for it. What do you think are the key aspects in your life that made you successful?
I would say discipline is being one, but determination I think is the most important one. And especially after I graduated in Spain college, I wasn't that good. I wasn't that disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really want what I really know what I wanted. I was a good athlete, but I played many sports. I worked different jobs. I was a good student, but I was like 23, 24. I wasn't really doing something specific, something good. So I was determined to come here to the US because I knew I was a place that it could change my life.
Mm-hmm.
So once I came here, there were many drawbacks, many disappointing situations in college. Then here in San Diego, working different jobs that I didn't like them and they didn't fit my skills. But it's been that determination that's keeping me, on track.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on track. I don't have what I want to. I know what I want. I'm really far, but I know that I'm on track.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I go a little to the right, to the left, but I'm going in the same direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes you have to adjust to where you want to be, and maybe after pursuing a certain goal for a while, you realize it's not even what I want anymore from when I started.
Yes.
What advice would you give to yourself when you were 13? If you could go back in time right now and tell you a 13-year-old self one or two things, what would that be?
I would say listen to the coaches, listen to the people you see.
I swear, guys, I did not tell him to say that. 100%, I promise.
Listen to people who you feel are good. Sometimes those people, I can feel my students thinking like, oh, what is he saying? What is he doing? But I know that in the end, deeply, they think that I'm telling them the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So my advice would be, sometimes you don't like it, you don't like what they say, but just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it, because it's going to be good for you. So that would be the most important thing. Follow your mentors. Follow your mentors. It doesn't have to be your father. It doesn't have to be your friend. There are people who are mentors, and you can feel it. Okay, you're gonna meet them anytime in your life. That may be your soccer coach, but also there might be another coach. So listen to them, and not sometimes they say things that are right, but you can also you need to know that sometimes they are mistaken. So you need to differentiate between what they say is good for some athletes, but not for you. Mm-hmm. More specifically, like in soccer or in your path. Mm-hmm. So follow their advice, but be able also to differentiate between, okay, I really like this, but maybe this is not the right thing for me. A little bit different. Try to be flexible also, and have a growth mindset to see also, that do things that they say and you don't like it, that you feel that they're good, so follow them.
Man, I wish I could tell my 13-year-old self the same thing right now. To finish it off, do you have any book recommendations? What is something, literature that you like to read, something that you think people definitely should take a look at?
Yes. My best recommendation, I know everybody's busy, and reading a book it takes time, and I don't read right now too much. I'm not reading. I would say Bruce Lee books.
Okay. Bruce
Lee, his philosophy is good for everybody, and for athletes even more. Like, that philosophy is really open mind, positive. He's with the universe, with the force of the universe, It's not about the religion, it's not about God, it's about the universe, and how to be positive, how to be determined, how to get the discipline, because you can. And he died when he was 32, but he got everything. At that age, right? He was super young. He has really good books. So any book from him is good.
Okay, I will definitely check that out. Well, Dani, thank you very much for your time. Real quick, what was it? Instagram, Dani Lainez, 86?
86, yes.
And MOLA Leadership, MOLA Leadership for Instagram. Check it out, guys. Definitely worth a watch on YouTube as well. And I'll see you next time. That was Coach Tim with Pro Select Soccer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good, man.
That was cool.
Huh.
Oh, look.